We're going to continue now with that ABC News exclusive with a former member of the alleged sex cult NXIVM, India Oxenberg, speaking out for the first time, saying she was brainwashed and branded with the initials of the group's founder, and how her mother, Dynasty star Catherine Oxenberg, helps rescue her. They both sat down with Amy. Good morning, Amy.
Hey, Robin. Good morning to you. NXIVM was initially billed as a self-help group, massively popular with 16,000 members, promising people the tools for personal success and empowerment, attracting Hollywood stars and millionaires. But everything came crashing down after allegations of a secret sex cult surfaced, landing its leader and several high-ranking members behind bars. Actress Catherine Oxenberg fought for years to free her daughter India from this group, and this morning, India is finally breaking her silence. This morning, India Oxenberg, daughter of TV star and real-life royalty Catherine Oxenberg, is breaking her silence, speaking out for the first time since breaking free from the so-called cult NXIVM.
What I thought I was learning was self-help and personal growth. What I was learning was the opposite. It was inhumane.
I'm an interesting person, I'm a controversial person, but most importantly, I'm an unconventional person.
India joined what she thought was a self-help group run by Keith Raniere, a self-proclaimed guru who bragged about what he describes as his superior intellect when she was just 19 years old and looking for purpose. Her mother, Catherine, who starred in the hit show Dynasty,
my name's Amanda,
actually took India to her first meeting. You and your mom went into NXIVM together initially, but then you say almost immediately they were trying to break that connection.
Yeah, and that was all strategic, and we were unaware of why they were doing that at the time. But it's actually something that I learned later on called parental alienation.
India spent nearly 7 years in the organization, paying them nearly $100,000. She says she was slowly being brainwashed, but couldn't see it while it was happening.
That's years of grooming, and when you're unaware, it's so easy to be led astray, especially by people who are masters at manipulation, and these people were that. Especially Keith Raniere, he's a master at manipulation. If there's one thing he's intelligent at, it's that. And he's a predator.
Prosecutors say Raniere was a con man and a predator who took advantage of women. They say Raniere, who called himself Vanguard, created a secret sorority inside the group where women were made to be his sex slaves and blackmailed with what they called collateral, like family secrets and nude photos.
I can explain later. I did what I had to do.
India says Smallville actress Allison Mack introduced her to the society under the guise of female empowerment.
So one would say authenticity is being as you are and expressing as you are.
I don't know why, that makes me want to cry. It's beautiful.
It was a trap, and it was a ploy for Keith to enslave women for his own sexual desires.
When did your relationship with Keith become sexual?
The relationship took a different turn and became sexual when I was commanded to do a seduction assignment. That was the beginning of continual sexual abuse, and I didn't see it as that at the time.
Now that you can look back on it, how would you describe that sexual relationship?
I would describe that sexual relationship as rape. I had given collateral, which automatically removes my choice. So I did not have the option to say no. Saying no meant hurting my family or hurting my friends, and I wasn't going to do that.
In the new Stars documentary, Seduced, inside the NXIVM cult, India returns to the house where she says she and others were held down and branded with Raniere's initials.
That window is where it happened. I was the first woman in my group of slaves to be branded.
Tell me about the night you were branded.
It was horrible. At the time, I thought I was doing this empowering bonding moment with a group of friends that I considered my nearest and dearest.
And you had no idea that it was Keith's initials. I remember that.
I mean, that's the real thing, is that we were told that it was a symbol of the elements and that this was going to be a bonding experience. And we were sleep deprived. We were starved. We were coerced. You don't just decide to be branded. You're coerced into being branded.
For years, Catherine fought publicly and behind the scenes to free India from the group.
How's your daughter doing, and have you spoken with her? My daughter is still on the inside. She's not back yet.
It took until 2018, after Raniere and Mac were arrested, for India to finally come around. Did you always believe, Catherine, that this day would come, or did you fear that it wouldn't?
God, I lived in fear for probably 2 years, but my faith has always been stronger than my fear, always.
Is there any other way to describe what was happening to your daughter other than she was brainwashed? This is not the daughter that you knew.
When I first confronted her at the end of May in 2017, I thought I could wake her up. I told her she was brainwashed and she was in a cult, and I said, I know about the blackmail, and I don't care if it's about me. Don't let that be the reason you stay in.
Why didn't what your mom was telling you resonate with you, India, at that time?
I was too deeply in. I was scared and I was confused.
What was that moment when you woke up?
It was stages of revelations. And I started working with the deprogrammer who helped me tremendously. But you have to be open to it. Like, you can't force somebody to see the truth. They need to want to. And I didn't want to for a long time.
Getting somebody out of a cult is very different than a drug intervention, for instance, because their critical thinking has been taken away. And so the process of working with a cult defector is to reawaken and reignite their critical thinking, and through a line of questioning to help them start to think for themselves. So it's very gentle, it's very different.
What do you want everyone to take away from your story?
You don't have to be in a cult to be coerced.
I don't know anybody on the planet who hasn't been manipulated
Or fooled.
or exploited or fooled in some way, or has been in a controlling, abusive relationship. There's predation on so many different levels.
We all have metaphorical scars. I have a physical scars, but you don't have to live with that. You don't have to live with Keith Raniere haunting you. You can reclaim your life. You can learn from it, and you can move on. And you can heal, and you can have love, and I just feel so lucky that I can have that.
And their relationship has healed, and it's stronger than ever before, they say. Allison Mack, by the way, pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy. Keith Raniere was convicted of sex trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy, and now faces up to life in prison when he's sentenced later this month. India told me she will be at his sentencing and will deliver a victim impact statement as part of her closure. And as for that brand, well, she had an evil eye tattoo put over it and wrote Ancora Impara, which means still learning. And she says now she's taken back that part of her body and she can feel empowered and not diminished.
Good for her. Amy, thank you so much for sharing that. Seduce Inside the NXIVM Cult premieres on Sunday, October 18th at 9 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Starz and the Starz app. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.